The following is a presentation of the iRacing Esports Network.
he hits him again now. Rayon Fowler into the outside wall.
He's going to pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's going to get them all done with. What amazing.
Raceway to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is going to touch in. Pit press sideways. What a save.
Look to the outside as Cronkite goes off. De Jong into second place.
I'm going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
Oh, he's trying this contact though.
Slide left to the racetrack. Chris Leonard drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact.
He's going to try and make the move around the outside the parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cut back here. Get the run out the parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Michael Schubert, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Here's to hugging corners, not cutting them. To grinding away, not grinding to a halt. Here's to those who stay true to the old saying, if you want something done right, you do it yourself. From Tallboy Storage to the latest line of extreme grip hand tools, Craftsman is there when it matters.
It has been a long and grueling several months, but for the drivers of the World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Championship Series, the end of the road gets ever closer as we stop down in Florida at Volusia Speedway Park for the penultimate round in their 12-round championship. Randy Chinnett, Cam Walsh, and Hugo Louis bringing you all the action in this one here tonight. And Cam, it's been an exciting championship thus far. But while the late model championship is more or less going down to the wire, Tim Ryan, I think, pretty much is going to be able to lock this championship up here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, and hello everybody. And he didn't qualify too fantastic, but you know what? He's going to be starting in the first position of the second row of heat number 1. You know, so obviously he's going to have he should have an easy ticket, but we got to see what this Volusia Speedway Park does. It's a little hot out there, 84 degrees. It's overcast, so there's no sun beaming down on the track. So who knows if that's going to mean the moisture is going to stay in the track just a little bit longer. We'll have to see how the track wears in, and that is going to dictate what happens with these drivers because, well, we saw last week that it wasn't necessarily the raciest. Now, hopefully this week, we'll see with these 410 sprint cars what they can really do. They can get this track underway.
Looking at the weather, it is hot, pretty warm and pretty humid here in Florida, and, well, I don't think you'd ever describe as Florida in any other way. Let's take a look, though, at your starting grid for heat race number 1 as they get ready to roll off. It's Dylan Solomon and Chase Cabre on that front row. Chase put in a fantastic round at Williams Grove just a couple weeks ago. Tim Ryan and Adam Elby on road number 2, with Michael Sheridan and Anthony Lopresto on road 3, with Justin Thomas rounding out the 7-car grid as they roll off. And really the big shakeup here, Cam, Dylan Silverman actually turning up once again. We've seen him sort of on a bit of a mishmash schedule. Every time he's turned out, he's had a very, very good outing for the most part. We've seen him be competitive. Puts that car on pole here tonight. He may have been a championship contender if he could have just been here a little bit more often throughout the season.
Well, you know, I think for me the big thing is, of course, Dylan Semmelman does seem to be almost overcutting perhaps what Austin Semmelman has been able to do. And, well, we'll see what he's able to pull off here. The car seems nice. He seems happy in it. You know, life does have requirements. I do have a baby on my chest as, well, he's going to hopefully snooze through this whole thing as we get this race underway here at Volusia.
And believe it or not, that is actually not a euphemism, thankfully, as the field works their way down the back straightaway. It'll be interesting to see what these guys can do as Dylan Silverman will be in command of the field here to kick off the 11th round of a 12-week long championship. Through corners number 3 and 4, iRacing safety trucks off the racetrack. Dylan picks up the throttle. We are green here. Volusia, we got a pile up in this initial heat race. We usually don't see this. 74 of Adam Elby is involved, and the 98 of Tim Ryan, who just needs to have a smooth night. He's going to fall outside of a transfer spot down to, I believe, P number 6.
And you know what? I'm pretty confident what happened there is they came to the green, and Tim Ryan, he punched it, and he got just a little bit too much grip, and he realized he was going to run into that pit wall, so he stretched out. Adam Elby really had nowhere to go, nothing to do, and those two collected into each other, and that was that. So, oh boy, that is going to be, that's bad for Adam Elby. He's normally running great. And for Tim Ryan, well, he most certainly is not going to be transferring here unless something dramatic happens, and with that first little incident there, everyone's basically split up, minus the position for 3 and 4.
I'm not sure exactly what the issue was. I think Tim mostly just got tight and just tried to get that car back underneath it before you don't want to just lift these cars away. You have the pack hounding down on you. The field continues working their way through here in heat race number 1. Michael Sheridan and Anthony Lopresto, they're going to be duking it out for the 3rd and 4th spot. Both these drivers still in transfer position, so they're not going to likely duke it out too hard here as they work lap number 6 of 8 here in heat race number 1. It's still Dylan Silverman who leads the way out clear the rest of the field, chasing that 2nd spot. Lopresto's going to try his luck down on the bottom on Michael Sheridan. Not going to quite be able to make that move just yet. Going to try to get in 1 and 2. Still can't get clear, but he actually scares Michael this time, makes him lift off the throttle. That's going to give Anthony a brilliant opportunity in towards 3 and 4. Going to cut the nose right off of Michael Sheridan as they work in towards 1 and 2 for the final time in heat race number 1. Down the back straightaway, Sheridan has the run. Going to pull up along the outside here for that 3rd spot. Anthony has the preferred line down low. Silverman's going to win heat race number 1, but Lopresto's going to hold on to that fight for P number 3.
Yeah, and both of those guys are going to be transferring, obviously, but big thing there is, well, starting from way in the back in the consolation race is going to be our points leader, Tim Ryan. Now, I don't want to say that it doesn't really mean anything. He has got a very hefty points lead, but, you know, every little point counts, really.
Every point counts, and we know that. That's something, I mean, we're looking at the late model championship really going to next week, and we're talking about qualifying points and heat race points. Every little thing matters. It's not out of the realm of possibility. You know, Alex is within range if he can pull together a couple of miracle results here in a row that he could steal this championship away. First things first, we need to see who's going to steal heat race number 2. So let's go down your starting grid there. James Edens and David Heileman will be on the front row in heat race number 1, as Austin Semmelman and Howard Weaver will roll off from that 2nd row. Jesse Dacus and Cameron Dance on row number 3, with Nick Cooper here in that 7th spot. So none of our championship contenders here, unless you're considering that late model championship. We have the 07 of Howard Weaver in this grid, but still a very competitive field. And James Edens, he's found momentum late in this championship game.
Yeah, let's see what Jesse Dacus is going to be able to do. I know Jesse's been running pretty quick himself lately. And of course, you got Austin Semmelman. Yeah, you know, we'll see what Austin can do. Maybe he can pull something out of his hat. I noticed the over-under was starting to come into play there, because they're going to be coming to the green this time by. but just not enough time with the track, so we'll have to see how Edens is going to run with Heilman on his outside.
Interesting to see for sure. That entire group that Edens runs with the likes of Chase Capre, and I believe it's got a couple of other drivers involved in that first heat race as well. I think it might have been Adam Elby's involved with that same group. They found a lot of speed in the last handful of weeks, so look for them to potentially stretch out here and make something happen as they work their way down the back straightaway and in towards 3 and 4. Getting ready to let this thing loose. iRacing safety truck preparing to duck down to the safety of pit road. And as they get ready to roll off, Edens picks up the throttle, basically jumps the entire field by 3 car lengths. We are green in heat race number 2.
Yeah, an amazing start from James Edens, but Austin Selman's powered his way in there. He left the inside door open from Heilman because of how hard he had to drive into corner number 1. And we're going to have some good side-by-side action here. Heilman is not going to be able to back off. He's going to have to continue and push. He'll slide right on up the track. He knows that he was going to cut into Austin Selman. He'll back off, and that allows Howard Weaver that outside line.
Yep, a Cup 2 teammates and a third one, what used to be their teammate right now, fighting for their that transfer spot. Howard Weaver and Austin Selman fighting, of course, from VLR. David Heileman on TTL, recent team change there. He's running down on that bottom groove. Howard Weaver's going to try to work the cut under. They're fighting behind as well, as Cam Dance and Jesse Dawkins are going to swap positions back and forth, back and forth. It's going to be Heileman who eventually picks that spot up. Howard falling into the clutches of Jesse Dawkins, Nick Cooper, as well as Cam Dance here towards the tail of the field. They nearly go 3 wide at the back.
Yeah, and Weaver ended up going way outside the normal line. He choked up some of that dirt. Here comes Jesse Dance. He throws the slider. He knows he's going to climb all the way up. And here comes Cameron Dance on the inside. So these guys are at that point where this track is now letting sliders all go around. And you know what? Howard Weaver is up to that 4th position. And we'll see if Cameron Dance and Dacus can catch him up.
Might need to play nice with one another, try to get a big picture for one of them to transfer, because right now Weaver, with 2 laps to go, holds on to that transfer spot. David Heileman and Austin Selman, they've broken away, so no threat from there as Cam Dance pulls up to the rear of Howard Weaver. White flag at the iRacing starter stand. Cam's going to try his luck down low, not going to quite be able to get the job done yet. Can he get any momentum down the back straightaway? I don't think so, and I believe Howard's going to hold on as Cam actually finds the inside wall as James Edens comes away and wins heat race number 2.
That's a good save from Cameron Dance. Unfortunately, he's still going to be finishing in near last. But either way, you know what? If you're going to try, you're going to try. And Cameron actually made a great point for me. You know, you try to run that inside line. It is a full concrete wall, the entire runaround basically, and that is what can happen when you just find yourself with a little bit too much grip and a little bit too much throttle, and you can find yourself very easily in that. Now just imagine if that was in front of a pack of cars in the feature or something like that. This track can really throw you some curveballs.
Definitely can, as the full race results are on your screen. Edens, Selman, Heileman, and Weaver, your transferees, with Cooper, Dawkins, and Cam Dance rounding out the rest of the field. And he's been given an opportunity, and we see the main championship rival to Tim Ryan in heat race number 3. Can he make something happen with this? We're going to have to find out right here, right now, as the heat race, the 3rd heat race of the night gets set. Robert Kurtstetter on the inside of that front row with 2nd place in the points, starting 2nd in this heat race. Alex Bergeron on the outside of that front row. Matt McKinney and Rusty Kruger on row number 2 with Dan Smulders and Phil Diaz rounding out what is a 6-car grid for heat race number 3. Alex has to execute right here, right now, Cam. I think he needs to win this heat race so he can start himself 3rd place in this event once they get to the feature. I don't think starting deeper in the field is going to bode him very well.
Well, if he goes too hard, though, I mean, what could happen is the same thing that happened to Tim Ryan. So you never know how aggressive you want to go. I have a feeling Kurtstetter, with the leader, with how Volusia goes, the leader typically gets, you know, a 3-4 car length jump. But we know from what we've seen with Alex Bergeron, whom I actually spent quite a bit of time with yesterday, watching the Super Dirt Week race in Oswego, New York with him. We watched it together. And, you know, he's kind of excited to be here. He needed to get some practice in. Hopefully he's got that done, and we'll see what he can do here. We know from just watching how he goes, he really likes to attack on the restarts, but you know what? It is just a heat race.
Yeah, he is one of the best. We saw him win a late model race earlier in the season at Limaland, purely off his ability to time the restarts. I'd like to thank you as well for tuning in once again on making us a part of your Monday night. Whether you're watching on the iRacing Esports Network or our fabulous partners over at dirtvision.com, we appreciate you turning in. iRacing safety truck gets ready. Come down to pit road. Bergeron tries to time it, can't do it. Robert gets 5 car lengths as they head into turn number 1.
It seemed that Kerstetter there found himself, everybody had backed off, just that one bit like a hiccup. I don't think you could time that any better as somebody bops the inside wall. That's the 51 of Matt McKinney, and there goes Bergeron. He shoots the gap ball going 3 wide for a second. Now he's got himself back into that second position. Now he can cycle in and see if he can recover, get some good track position, and he's going to chase down Robert Kerstetter, or he's going to try to avoid hitting that inside wall.
I think at this point he might just need to play it safe with the lead that Robert somewhat has, because Alex somewhat got lucky after losing that second spot in the early stages of this race. Dan Smollers and Matt McKinney, they're fighting it out for 3rd and 4th as Rusty Kruger and Phil Diaz, they're close into 1 and 2, maybe make a little bit of contact as they head off in towards 1 and 2, and that's going to separate them out just a little bit. Smolders is reeling in that second place runner of Bergeron though as well. That gap is down pretty much to nothing. So 2nd through 4th on the racetrack, all ebbing and flowing back and forth, while your race leader Robert Kerstetter is out clear by 7/10.
Yeah, the inside line was trying there. You'll see Dan Smolders trying. He's going to find the same thing Alex Bergeron found out. The inside line got a little worn in that last heat race, so everybody's now running that high side, that outside line, letting the cushion ride, as that's where Kerstetter is. But it seems to me that they're just having riding around that outside ring. But as we know, there's an Armco barrier out there at some point. The track does kind of flatten out up there in a way. And you got to wonder how long is it going to be before we start seeing these cars dance all over the track again.
White flag though here in corners number 1 and 2, so I don't think we're going to see too much change in this heat race. They head into 3 and 4 for the final time, and everyone's pretty much line astern. Robert Kerstetter is going to come off turn 4 and win heat race number 3. Bergeron 2nd, Smolders 3rd, and Matt McKinney in 4th. So what ended up as a dramatic start to that heat race rounds out pretty much the calmest of them all. Rusty Kruger rounds out the 5th spot, and the final position goes to Phil Diaz. Top 4, of course, being the only ones that transfer. We are going to step away though as we have our feature race gridded up. We have a couple-minute warm-up before that gets going, and until then, well, we're going to take a short break to get set for that. Do not go away here on the iRacing Esports Network, here for the iRacing World of Outlaws Craftsman Late Model Championship, Sprint Car Championship Series.
Did you know your DirtVision.com account gives you free access to our on-demand video library? From the DirtVision.com homepage, click on Demand Video near the top right of the screen. And from there, countless hours of World of Outlaws footage awaits at your fingertips. Watch every lap of the current World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Series season.
Sheldon Hodge looking for a run. Dives low into turn 3. Slide job! Sheldon Hodge, shield to the cushion. Johnson turns it back underneath him, but Sheldon leads lap 23.
Or dive into some of the historical options with videos in our Classics section.
He has clear visibility, comes off the 4th turn in the clear, and leads lap number 1.
It's all available free and on demand on DirtVision.com.
Welcome back here to the iRacing Esports Network and on Dirt Vision as we bring you the penultimate round of the World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Championship Series here at Volusia. And things are potentially getting interesting with the championship if things can go right and if Alex Bergeron can execute. Just to remind you of the championship situation, Tim Ryan currently leads the way by more or less a country mile, but Alex is within reach of Tim Ryan if Tim has a couple of bad races back to back, and it might be happening here tonight, and we'll see why as we go down the starting grid for the 20-car feature event. On the pole position tonight It is the number 3 of Dylan Selman with the 52 of James Edens on the outside of that front row. Robert Kerstetter and Chase Cabre are going to be on row number 2, and row number 3 houses Austin Selman and Alex Bergeron. Alex pretty much needing a win tonight to keep within Tim Ryan. Anthony Lepresto and David Heileman are on row number 4. Dan Smulders and Michael Sheridan on row 5. Howard Weaver and Matt McKinney are on row 6, with Justin Thomas and Nick Cooper on row 7. And it's been a while since you pretty much have heard this man's name, and this is why we're saying Alex has a chance. Rusty Kruger and Tim Ryan will roll off from row number 8, with Jesse Dacus and Phil Diaz on row 9, and Adam Elby and Cam Dance will make up the 20-car field here tonight. Really, Alex needs to execute right here, Cam, and get as far up the field as he can. I think a win is really what he needs. Might be able to be okay with a 2nd or 3rd place finish coming away from here tonight. For Tim Ryan, pretty much same situation. I think as long as he can get to about 10th, he's pretty much puts this thing on ice.
And I was going to say, I mean, and first of all, you know, you got to think just exactly what these guys are racing for. Got to remember there's a big old paycheck not only at the end of the race, but also the end of the championship, which is, this is round 11 and 12. And, I mean, it is almost, I would say it is almost a lock for Tim Ryan. But you know what? He's starting way in the back of the pack. We did have issues where cars wad him up and get into big incidents. Anything can happen here at Volusia.
$3,000, a Craftsman 320-piece mechanic tool set, an official trip to the to the World of Outlaws banquet, and the World of Outlaws World Finals in Charlotte are on the line. Dylan Selman is on the throttle, and we are green for the penultimate round here at Volusia. They screen through corners number 1 and 2. Selman is clear. James Edens is very, very close though. Might make a move here early in this thing. Down to the bottom goes James Edens for the race lead. He's going to take it, but Selman is just about going to get it back as we get a yellow, and that is going to be an important caution as Edens takes the lead, and Weaver seems to be the car involved.
Yeah, they were 3 wide coming off of corner number 2, and he napped Michael Sheridan, and Michael Sheridan, Matt McKinney. Oh no, Matt McKinney got out of this scotch-free, so good for him. Almost didn't recognize him with the all-black sprint car, but for Howard Weaver, yeah, he got a lovely spin around and a loop-de-doo, and now he's missing the front end. You can get a lovely look at that 410 cubic engine. I have no idea what a 410 cubic engine looks like. Well, if you don't, you can see it right there.
More importantly than Howard Weaver, when Howard got spun by Michael Sheridan, the driver he made contact with on the outside of the racetrack was the number 98 of Tim Ryan. And Tim has damage. That front wing is crumpled. I see the Nerf bar on the front of that thing damaged as well. Not out of the realm of possibility that he could have some suspension damage. And if he does, that car could be well and truly off pace here tonight. So for the number 98 of Tim Ryan, he's already lost. Actually, no, I take that back. He has gained a couple of spots from where he started, likely due to the accident. But will he still have pace when we eventually go back to green?
Yeah, I mean, just looking at that front section there, and you can see how he's trying to see if the machine's all right. They're right underneath that front wing. You can see these 2 little white bars sticking out. Those are attached. That's part of the suspension system. The right side of that is bent. So, well, we'll have to see. You know what? Some of these cars, sometimes they handle a little better when they're a little wiggly on the tires, but you never know. As the lights go out on the pace truck, we're ready to go back to green.
Yep, getting ready to get the field back to green flag racing here. James Edens this time will be in command of the field. Dylan Selman up top on the outside. We've not seen anyone really time the restarts. Let's see if Edens can make it happen. They came off of turn number 4. Selman actually does a very good job of timing this restart and keeping there with Edens. They worked through 1 and 2, but not quite able to keep up alongside as Dylan Selman as they work down the back straightaway. The whole pack, side by side for the most part. Chase Cabre is going to find contact with the inside wall. He gets into someone in the depth of the field. Who was that? Was the 98 involved with this again? That would be absolutely... Actually, you're right, as we stay green.
Yeah, I don't even know how we managed to stay out. Everyone got, they stopped themselves. So Chase Cabre there hit that outside wall, and it looked to me, Bergeron got around, Semmelman tapped him just a tad. Heilman went around, Dan Smolders absolutely cleaned his clock there, and I believe that was Sheridan. Tim Ryan did get around, no problem. Then it was Kruger and a couple of other cars, or Cameron Dance, I think, involved in that as well. And you know what? As far as it looks to me, Howard Weaver is still the only car on pit lane, so somehow everyone's played pinball, and we're good to go.
Adam Elby's down there on pit road as well. He's not on pit road, but he's not on the racetrack as well as they work their way, working lap number 9 of 30 in this feature event. And the big thing with that incident, Cam, while we may have lost the 74 of Adam Elby, that was a number of freebies for the number 98 of Tim Ryan. I said that he needs to finish somewhere in the realm of about P number 10. He currently runs 10th, fighting with the 75 of Jesse Dawkins, a third of the way into this race. So for Tim Ryan, you know, a lot of times to win a championship, you need to have a little bit of luck for things to go your way and to come away with it. Tim Ryan just got a piece of it after what we thought may have been a bad roll of the dice after that initial incident.
Yeah, Bergeron has taken it 3 wide for position number 2 twice now in 2 corners, and he has been trying everything he can on the inside of Robert Kerstetter and Dylan Semmelman, and they've been straightening themselves out. I feel like the inside line might be just falling away, and here he goes again. He throws a big slider. He might have a little opening on the car of Kerstetter. Kerstetter, though, stays in it. It's going to force Bergeron down to the inside, which should slow him up enough to where Kerstetter's going to clear him there. So great racing here for position number 2, and for Dylan Semmelman, he's lost the tail end of James Eden. That's because he tapped the outside wall on the front stretch, and this is going to be very important because, as you can watch, if you watch these cars going down the front stretch, you'll notice a massive rut forming just past the start-finish line right up against the wall.
If you watch this number 52 of James Eaton, he's actually running this track differently than anyone else. Most people right up against the Armco on the outside. Eaton is leaving about 2 to 3 car widths between himself and the outside wall, so leaving a little bit room for air while still running away from the field is that number 52. The number 5 of David Heileman, he's also working his way up through the field. He just got done making a move on Austin Selman, who's still fighting with Anthony Lopresto, but Heileman still trying to work his way forward on Matt McKinney and Alex Bergeron, but having the 12 car up there is going to make things difficult for him to slide up. He's going to slide through 1 and 2, tries to find a gap, but there's no gap there, Heileman. He makes contact with McKinney. That's going to give Bergeron some breathing room and may open up the 12 to being a little bit more aggressive, but we're lucky to not have a pile up there after that failed attempt, well, more or less failed attempt at a slider.
Yeah, basically, and he managed to take a massive nip out of Matt McKinney. This is second now that he's managed to dodge these bullets, and Austin Semmelman was quick on the binder, so give credit to Austin Semmelman as well. He managed to blow up his pony just enough to not collect Matt McKinney at full speed, and that allows them all to continue, as now Semmelman's going to try the outside line.
Oh, the 51 in the wall. 51 in the wall of Matt McKinney, car upside down in corners number 3 and 4, and that is going to reset the field. And if you're Alex Bergeron, and I think if you're Tim Ryan, that might have been the exact thing you did not want to happen. Getting a replay of that incident, I believe it was a solo car. Yeah, pretty much a solo car incident. Found himself a nice little rut through corners number 3 and 4. That got that car tight, pretty much slung it right in the outside wall, and that's likely going to be a race-ending incident there for Matt McKinney. No, he's still out there rolling. He might be a little bit dizzy in that car.
It's going to be way off speed, but yeah.
We'll have to wait and see. I mean, granted, we said the same thing about the 98 of Tim Ryan, and he's still rolling out there in that 9th place, and I think that's the big thing to take away from that green flag run camp. Saw Tim Ryan survive that incident, and he sort of was able to maintain pace. He may not be exactly on pace with the race leaders, but he's not so far off pace where he's really losing ground. He's doing mid to high 14s. So you take a look at James Eaton's in his lap time. He was doing mid low 14s. So he's only a couple tenths off, and I'd say he's been a couple tenths off Eaton's all night, so he's right where he has been.
Yeah, his fastest lap during warm-up was a 14.1. So, and his fastest lap here at the race was a 14.4, and ever since that incident, he's been running almost high 14s. So, you know what, Tim Ryan, at least he has enough of a competitive car that he doesn't have to worry about losing too much ground. He's only got, 5 cars between him and Alex Bergeron, as Dylan Semmelman literally almost jackknifes his machine trying to spool the tires up going down corner number 4. Wouldn't have been good, but either way, Dylan's going to be starting that outside wall, and you know what? That outside line is getting very, very sketchy.
Yeah, it definitely is. We've seen a couple of drivers have issue with that, and I think it's going to be slightly going away here. We've seen pretty much the entire field on that last run as they double it up. We're going green this time by running that outside wall, and that has taken a lot of that tacky dirt away in not a lot of time. Inside, though, of 10 laps to go, James Edens has led this thing after stealing the lead from Dylan Selman early on. Will he be able to close it out, as we might have technical difficulties for the 3 of Dylan Selman? The 52 of James Edens pulls out with the race victory. Dylan pops back into existence, and he's going to get turned because Alex had no idea where he was. An unfortunate incident there for the 3 of Dylan Selman, and that's going to immediately reset the field once again.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do there? I mean, there's only the power of the internet. I mean, to be fair, there's a hurricane approaching Florida and all that, so button down, by the way. But I mean, what can you do if you're Alex Bergeron? You can't even see him. You know, that's kind of I think the big thing that we need to say is that it's more of a personal. Yeah, for Bergeron, what can you do? And then all of a sudden, he's finding a car in front of him, and he collects him, spins him around, and you know what? Good on everybody else. They did not pile it up going into 2, because that would have been bad.
That's very well avoided by everybody there. As the 12 of Alex Bergeron, pretty much everyone's going to get a free spot except for that 52 of James Edens. And again, talking about the championship, this could still be important. It pops Alex up to that 2nd spot, but it puts Tim Ryan, who, talk about how fast and how consistent he's been, Cam. He got into some trouble early in this race. He's had a very Matt McKinney style night. Has gone from P16 up to P6. He's not the only one. Cam Dance, P20 up to P7. And Jesse Dawkins, P17 to P9. Phil Diaz, P18 to P10. Everyone who has started on those last 4 rows now finds himself running in the top 10.
That's because everyone that was running in the top 10 is basically retired at this point, as they're going to line up again behind the pace truck as they get ready to go green. And I mean, this is going to be what, a 2-lap shootout, a 3-lap shootout?
Pretty much. They're going to be coming to green, working lap number 28. It's currently lap 27 with the lights out on the iRacing safety truck. A caution ends this race, and I would not be surprised to see it. James Edens is leaving a bit of a gap to that iRacing official pace truck. Let's see when he's going to pick up the throttle. Can Alex Bergeron time it and maybe steal a cheeky one to keep himself alive? He's not going to do it just yet, but he didn't let James Edens get too far ahead. We are green at Volusia, working 3 laps to go as they work off of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Entire field 2 by 2. Bergeron sitting in that 2nd spot. David Heilman going to work the bottom, going to try to pass 2 cars in one corner. He's going to have the 2nd spot at the line as they get the popsicle sticks in towards turn number 1. Heilman will lead as they work down the back straightaway. James Edens is going to throw it down to the bottom. Austin Selman wants a piece of this as well. 3 wide for 2nd as Heilman and Selman make contact. White flag at the starter stand and in towards 1 and 2 for the final time. Selman has inherited that 2nd spot. James Edens works his way down the back straightaway and in towards turns number 3 and 4. Selman is going to defend the bottom. Heilman tries to work the bottom, but James Edens will win here at Volusia.
And 3rd place does come Alex Bergeron. What an absolutely fantastic little shootout that we had here for James Edens. I was worried that he had lost it. Heilman was there, Bergeron was there, and someone was breathing down his neck. Somehow he managed to pull that one out of the fire. So good on him to collect that feature paycheck, because, man, that was close.
Very close indeed as we work down your post-race results of the 11th round of this 12-round championship. James Edens from that Driven SimSport team, relatively new organization to get themselves formed up. They nearly stole the win out at Williams Grove a couple of weeks back, and they finally get one here. James Edens comes away with the win. Austin Selman in 2nd, Bergeron in 3rd, Heilman in 4th, and Robert Kerstetter rounds out your top 5. Cam Dance in that 6th spot. Tim Ryan in what may be a very important 7th. Justin Thomas works his way up to 8th. Jesse Dawkins in 9th, and Anthony Lopresto rounds out your top 10. Phil Diaz in 11th, Nick Cooper in 12th, the winner from the last round of this championship at Williams Grove. Chase Cabre in the 13th spot, Matt McKinney in 14th, Rusty Kruger 15th, with Michael Sheridan, Dylan Selman, Dan Smolders, Howard Weaver, and Adam Elby rounding out this 20-car field. Do not go away. We will be back in just a couple of moments for post-race coverage here on RaceSpot TV, on the iRacing Esports Network, and on DirtVision.com. Do not go away.
Courage at the mile. What part did courage play in this victory?
Kinzer going into the corner, trying to get by Del Waxo, makes contact.
Hell of a lot, I'll tell you that right there.
So many times, everybody had lost track. Look at how it shot up on the center track.
Tell you what, that was some close races at a high speed.
The World of Outlaws create memories for fans every night. Now share your favorite Outlaw moment on social media. Whether it was 1978, 1998, or 2018, we want to know, what's your Outlaw moment? Did you sneak into a victory lane picture? Get whiplash driving past a parking lot full of crews at work? Or maybe you simply got to meet your favorite driver in the pits after the races. Tweet it, Instagram it, just use the hashtag #MyOutlawMoment. You might even hear Voice of the Outlaws Johnny Gibson share your memory at the track. Don't delay, start posting today. Let us know with My Outlaw Moment.
Welcome back here to RaceSpot TV after what was an exciting race in the World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Championship Series 11th round at Volusia. And as we await for the points to get updated, we have ourselves some interviews to get through, and let's just kick it off. Race winner tonight, number 52 of James Edens. We've seen this car for the bulk of the championship be entirely in white, and James Edens finally gets some paint work done on that machine, and he pulls out a win here at Volusia Speedway Park. James, I know you have to be excited. It's a relatively new group for you guys who've sort of come together. Chase Cabre, I know, is involved, handful of other drivers. You nearly took a win your first pretty much time out at Williams Grove. You got one done here at Volusia. How's it feel?
Really good. I mean, it's been a long 11 races. I finally got one. You know, it felt like we've had speed in the top 5 almost every week. Just finally feels good to get one.
Talking about the way this sort of race kind of played out tonight, restarted in that second spot. Dylan, of course, held that lead early on. You pretty much were able to take that lead away from Dylan, I think, on the initial green flag run, and then pretty much never gave it back. How difficult was it trying to time Dylan every single restart to maintain that race lead to ensure that he didn't play you the way that you played him?
The biggest thing was just not spinning the tires, especially late in the race. It was getting really slick down there. So I just did my best to roll into the throttle and not spin the tires and let him get a run to slide me or drive around me going into one. So it was definitely tough.
Season finale will be going down in towards at Charlotte, and the thing that's important is that with your situation in the points, you have a very good opportunity of fighting it out with Alex Bergeron for that second spot. You might actually be the favorite in the points once that cycles through and gets updated. How do you feel about your chances of being able to hold on to that second position in the points?
I mean, it'll be close. I think, you know, we get that drop week. I think he's still going to have about 10 points on me going in with the drop, so I mean, it'll be tough. He's always fast. You know, he'll definitely be fast next week, trying to hold on to second. So do our best and hopefully not crash. Maybe pick up another win would be nice.
That's always a good plan for sure. Thank you for joining us, James. Congratulations on what was a very well-run race this evening. Before we let you go, who gets it done for that 52?
Hold up. James just passed Alex Bergeron for second position in the points.
Has that been updated with the drop, though?
Yes, it has. Well, I don't know about the drop weeks, but still.
You do. Without the drop, you do have a 5-point edge. I can guarantee you that as we take a look at the championship. We will take a look at the championship standings eventually. So you are preliminarily in the second spot, James, so congratulations on that.
Thanks. I definitely got to thank the driven guys. You know, we put this team together a couple weeks ago, and it's gone really smooth so far. You know, we've been fast every night out. Had some good runs. Definitely nice to pick up a win for them. And always the third base guys for all their support. And Fast Four Media. I thank them.
There he was, James Edens, race winner here this evening. Pretty happy, I think, with the way this one went, the way this sort of outing has gone for that entire group. Someone, though, who has finally been able to put a sort of a full night of racing together, the 18 of Austin Selman, he comes away in that second spot. He stood by with Cam Walsh.
Yeah, Austin Selman, your brother, kind of, well, he started us pretty much. He kind of let us right on in and ended up being you. Coming home in the second position. Good running, I think, for you basically all night long. You found yourself in a lot of different sticky situations. Take me through it. How'd you get that number 18 through it?
It was pretty wild there. I didn't qualify as good as I'd like. It's pretty much the story of the year. And just managed to pick up a spot in that heat race, get me a little closer to the front, and I figured that bottom would come in a little bit later like it did there, so that worked out for me, and kind of just held my line and was smooth and took advantage of situations that when they presented themselves, so happy to get a good finish out of it.
Yeah, and coming in home in second, starting from fifth, we had a couple of cautions. And the restarts, well, we had a couple of times when things got a little interesting, to say the least, especially that one incident with your brother. But ultimately, though, it's been a good day here at Volusia, a little overcast. But you know what? We've got one more round to go. It's at the dirt track at Charlotte. You going to be ready for it?
Oh, yeah, we'll be there and try to get that win. It's been a really, really disappointing season, but that's racing, and sometimes things don't go your way, but you just keep grinding and keep coming back and give another shot, and that's what we'll do next time.
You're some 50 points ahead of Nick Cooper, and you're some 50 points behind David Heilman, so you're pretty, so you're pretty comfortable in fifth. So ultimately, we'll see how that goes, and hopefully you'll have a good run down at the dirt track at Charlotte.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Cam. Thanks for you guys for doing this. And yeah, I'm David's teammate, so I might go over and mess with his motor or something before the race. He'll be fine, and hopefully I can gain those 50 points back. It should be fun.
Well, there he was. Congratulations, Austin, on finally getting yourself a nice second place finish here tonight. Before we let you go, who gets it done for you in that VLR car?
Yeah, like you said, VLR, Ultimate Dirt TV. They've been with me, or they've been on my car here this last half of the season. The Oculus, Logitech for making good equipment. It's what I use, and you guys for being here and putting this on. Hope everybody enjoyed that one.
There he was, 18 car of Austin Selman comes home in the second spot. Third place finisher will be the 12 of Alex Bergeron, who's also stood by with us. It's notable, given his current situation in the points, that we are pretty sure that he is outside the realm of being able to compete with Tim Ryan going into next week. Points have pretty much just updated, Alex, and not only have you really not been able to close the gap on Tim Ryan much at all, you've actually lost that second spot. So now, for you, what's the focus going into that final round at Charlotte? How focused are you in trying to just get that second position back from James?
Well, definitely very strong confidence. I'm going to try to retain probably the pole and try to go for the win. I just try to make the most points tonight, and James got the top out of that. And sadly we don't have a chance for a championship, but we tried everything. We had a lot of bad luck this season, and even though we had 3 wins out of all that, and that's how racing goes. And next year we'll hopefully we don't have that many bad lucks.
Now, I know that you've been one of those drivers in the last couple of years that have been, really, let's say, spreading yourself thin with all the World Championships you've been in. We've seen you in the World Championship Grand Prix Series a couple seasons ago. You've been in the Peak Series as well. You ran those back-to-back alongside each other. You're involved with 3 different ones this season. As the year starts to wind down and we start looking in towards 2019, what's going to be your plans there? Are you going to wind back your participation in some of these World Championships and maybe pick and choose 1 or 2 others mostly to focus on? Or are you going to try to still be competitive in 3 or 4 of them going in towards next year?
I will definitely be racing the dirt side of things. I don't know for NASCAR P3s yet, so maybe. We don't know. Definitely no road courses for next season. But all the dirt side, late models and sprint cars, that's going to be my main focus. And like I said, hopefully we have a better season. It's good. We got 3rd at both championship right now. But, hopefully we do better next year. In terms of luck, because we had a lot of wins. Compared with Tim Ryan, we 1 win away from being the same amount. So, it's all about top fives, and when you get involved in wrecks and stuff, you know, it's just that's how racing goes, man. It's just that's how it is.
Thanks for joining us, Alex. Congratulations on, well, what was a decent third-place rebound finish. Granted, Tim was able to rebound even better than you, up nearly 10 spots on the night. Before we let you go, who gets it done for that number 12 VLR machine?
Well, definitely all my partners. Now Ball and Apparel. Make sure to check them out online to get your apparels now. The sign shop at Kinney's, BK Designs, for all the paint scheme on iRacing. Go check them out, Bub King. Their collective, their car racing. RacingDude.com, Ultimate Dirt TV, and shout out to everyone watching tonight. Coleman Golick watching, and Todd Berkheimer, Paul Kinney, and shout out to Daniel Powell and Josh Witt. And thanks to Garrett Robinson for being on the box tonight, helping me out, and you guys for broadcasting as always, and All About Us for putting this on, and we'll see you guys next week.
All right, so there he was, the 12th car of Alex Bergeron. Loses a little bit of ground to Tim Ryan and loses the second spot as well. You can, I think, sense the frustration going on with him. We have the points updated for you, and as we take a peek, Tim Ryan has stretched his lead out to 731. James Eden is currently in that second spot with 676, with Alex Bergeron currently scored in third with 671. Heilman in fourth with 640. So we might have ourselves a nice little fight between second, third, and fourth going into Charlotte. But that number 98 of Tim Ryan has pretty much wrapped up this championship. These, of course, are not 100% official. This is just what they currently look like coming off this race. There could potentially be penalties, and of course, there is certainly the drop week that we have not yet accounted for, because you never know, some drivers may use this as the drop or what might end up happening. So things are tight near the top of the point standings, but at the top of them, it is Tim Ryan who has full control of this championship going into the final round at Charlotte. We thank you for tuning in here on RaceSpot TV, streaming live on the iRacing Esports Network, as well as on DirtVision.com. Huge shout outs to all of our partners that make this championship possible. Of course, to the World of Outlaws and to Craftsman. Huge shout outs to those working in the booth with me tonight, Cam Walsh and Hugo Louis, working down, pushing the buttons. Of course, have to also thank And Warren Designs for the beautiful overlays, Simon Grossman for coding them up, and for Nick Tissett for working our live timing. We have a lot of World Championships coming down to the wire in the next couple of weeks on RaceSpot TV. Be sure to tune in to those. Tomorrow night, we have the 17th round of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series live at Dover. And on Thursday night, the iRacing Rallycross World Championship has one of their final races. Their 10th race happens at Phoenix, and a week from tonight, the World of Outlaws Craftsman Late Model Championship Series will have their final round at the dirt track at Charlotte, and a week after that we will have the finale of the sprint cars as well. Be sure to tune in to those races, as they are going to be exciting as people duke it out for nearly 6 figures in championship prizes across all of those championships. But for everyone here at RaceSpot TV, we hope to see you at a later time. Until then, bye-bye.